Hi, gang. Bob Boving with you for the Mystery Project, where a 7-part serial is our way of contributing to vacation indolence and letting you escape into someone else's problems. We're returning tonight with Chapter 5 of Find the Lady, a mystery tale guaranteed to prove that things are never so bad they can't get worse. The play by David Ellis throws everything but the kitchen sink at the principal character, Andrew Marsh. Accused by police of passing phony checks, suspected of murdering his friend Roger Sherwin, finding that his wife has been kidnapped, it's enough to make a guy start doubting his good luck. The only thing that's gone right was finding Sheila Ramsey, the girl who can give him an alibi for the lost checkbook. But with that comes new problems. First, Andrew is now sure that he has been carefully framed by the people at the Excelsior Club, which appears to be the center of whatever racket is being operated. And secondly, Sheila has convinced him that his new friend Margaret Everhard is not who she claims to be. Chapter 5 of Find the Lady, in which Andrew loses a duel.
Sure, absolutely sure that Margaret Everard's in Scotland.
Oh, of course I am. Anyway, that postcard came from there, didn't it?
Yes. Do you recognize the handwriting?
No. It's the first time Margaret's written to me. But she must have sent that card. Nobody else knows I'm staying in her cottage.
Nobody, except the girl who gave me this address.
Who is she, Andy?
How the devil do I know? She was living in Everard's house. She knew enough about him to make me believe she was his daughter.
What's she look like?
I've told you once she's blonde, about 23 or 4, roughly your height.
Attractive?
Yes, damn it.
You've fallen for her, haven't you?
Don't be a fool, Sheila. I've only met her twice. Look, you'd better come back to London with me.
No, Andy, I'm not going to the police.
You might be in more danger if you stay here.
Why?
This girl, whoever she is, knows you're here. She could be working for the people who run the Excelsior Club.
But if she is, and they know I'm here, why have they left me alone?
Probably they were waiting until they could make use of you in some way. And they could have decided to use you as bait.
Bait?
To get me down here. Then someone from the club arrives. Shortly afterwards, the police get a phone call. A man says he was passing this cottage and he heard revolver shots. The police find us. Dead.
Oh.
With evidence fixed to make it look as though I'd murdered you and then shot myself. 2 interfering birds put out of the way with 1 well-aimed stone. From the Excelsior Club.
You've got a horrible imagination, Andy.
It could happen. As long as we're alive, we're a threat to the club, especially you. They'll find you one day.
I don't see how, if I stay
Sheila,
here...
for God's sake, be sensible. You can't hide forever. Come back to London with me.
And go to prison? Huh, no thank you.
I'm sorry, but you've no choice.
What do you mean?
I don't want to go to prison either. And if I let you stay here, I will.
You wouldn't make me go back with you?
Wouldn't I? Listen, Sheila. Those charming people you used to work for have got my wife. By coming down here to find you, I'm risking her life.
You should have told me.
Would it have made you say, yes, I'll come back with you?
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm making this decision for you. You are going to help me to prove to an obstinate policeman that he's wrong about me.
I'll write it down. Sign it.
One of the crimes I'm suspected of is forging other people's names. You have got to make your statement in person. I don't think you'll get to prison for very long. You may not go at all. Now go and put whatever you'll need in a suitcase and...
Andy, you said you weren't followed.
They probably know where you are without having to follow me. Put the light out in the hall. I'll douse this one. They may not have seen it. These curtains look fairly thick. Sheila, where's the phone?
There isn't one.
Damn.
What were you going to do?
Phone the police, of course. Where's the nearest call box?
Down the road, about 5 minutes walk.
Right. Is there a back door to this place?
Yes. Andy, don't leave me.
No, I was going to send you, but there may be more than one of them. We'll wait.
Andrew! That's a girl's
Shut up.
voice. Andrew!
It's the girl that calls herself Margaret Everard. You hide yourself. I'll let her in. If she's on her own, okay. If there's anyone with her, slip out of the back door and run like hell to that phone box. Watch out in case anyone's keeping an eye on the back. All right?
Yes. Andy, I'm scared.
Good. You'll run all the faster. Now disappear. I'm going to open up.
Andrew?
Yes?
I can't see your face.
That better?
Yes. Why did you put out the lights?
Economizing. Are you on your own?
Yes. May I come in?
It's your cottage, isn't it? The lounge is the door on the right.
Thank you. Do you mind if we have a light on?
You pay the electricity bills.
You know I don't. That's very evident. How did you find out?
Does it matter?
No. Where's Sheila Ramsey?
Why do you want to know?
Is she all right?
Yes.
You are taking her back to London with you?
I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Andrew, for heaven's sake, I want to help you. Why do you think I came down here?
Well, you could have a number of reasons. Which one are you going to give me?
I was afraid you'd find out that I wasn't Margaret Everard. I wanted to tell you why I lied to you.
Are you sure you're alone?
Yes, why?
There's somebody outside.
I didn't hear anything.
Perhaps you didn't want to hear it. Sheila, what the devil do you think you're doing?
Nothing.
You weren't hoping she'd left her keys in her car, were you?
Well, what if I was?
Get out of that car. I said get...
Oh, all right.
If you'd been able to start her car, where would you have gone?
I don't know. Anywhere. As long as it was away from you.
This isn't your lucky day, is it? You are staying with me. And as soon as we've heard what our visitor has to say, I am driving you up to London.
Who is she, Andy?
I've no idea, so if I tell her we're catching a plane for South America, don't contradict me.
Why not?
Because I don't trust anyone now. If we keep our plans to ourselves, we've a reasonable chance. Now come on, back inside, and leave the talking to me.
Hello?
Mr. Lloyd.
Yes.
I'll speak in, Governor.
Where are you?
In the middle of flaming nowhere.
That tells me a hell of a lot.
I'm just down the road from where darling little Sheila's hiding out.
Where's that?
A cottage. Near a dump called Broadstairs.
Uh-huh.
Marsh obliged me by leading me right to it. He's with Sheila right now. Him and another bird.
Who's she?
Dunno. Couldn't see her proper from where I was. Maybe we know her, maybe we don't.
I went to school with Margaret. My name's Judy Randall.
Andy, can I say...
No. Stay where you are. Go on.
We used to see each other occasionally, and after her father died, Margaret phoned me. We met in town, and she told me how Sheldon Everard had been blackmailed. Soon after he committed suicide, someone phoned Margaret, a man. They reminded her that they still had evidence of her father's treachery.
She paid them to suppress the evidence?
Yes. You see, she's getting married next week. That's why she's in Scotland. Her fiancé's father is a member of the government. If the fact that Sheldon Everard was a traitor had been made public, Margaret's fiancé would have been forced by his father to cancel the wedding.
How old is her fiancé?
Old enough to please himself, but he never does. Tony's charming, but he's ruled by his father. Margaret loves him, though. She preferred to pay blackmail rather than risk losing him. Well, she made one attempt to solve her problems. In his letter, Sheldon Everard told her the name of the hostess who took him back to her flat.
Sheila.
Yes.
I didn't know who he was. I didn't know.
You can defend yourself later. Margaret went to see Sheila?
Yes. Sheila refused to go to the police, but when she knew what she'd been responsible for, she said she didn't want to go on working for the club. She was afraid they'd find out why. She wanted to leave, though.
They'd have made me tell them. Margaret told me to walk out and come down here for a while. She said everything would be all right after she was married.
All right. For whom?
For everyone, Margaret hoped. Well, she daren't tell Tony's father that she was being blackmailed before the wedding. He'd just tell Tony to call it off, but... Well, once Tony's ring was on her finger, he'd have to protect the name of Everard.
I imagine he's got the necessary influence.
He has. Margaret hoped he might even be able to get the club closed.
Well, that wouldn't prevent the men behind it carrying on. Your friend Margaret hasn't any evidence that would send them to jail, has she?
No, but if the police were told about them by a man in the kind of position that Tony's father has, they'd watch them. That would hamper them, surely.
Oh, I doubt it. I think Margaret Everard's underestimating the Excelsior Club.
Perhaps. Anyway, she didn't want the blackmailers to know what her intentions were until it was too late. That's why she asked me to stay in their house. You see, they contact her when they want another payment and tell her how much and where to leave it. I was to pretend that I was Margaret and take their instructions. When you came, I thought they decided to send a messenger instead of telephoning.
You could have told me all this before.
Well, I'd given my word to Margaret that I wouldn't do anything to interfere with her plans, but... Well, when your wife disappeared, I just knew I'd have to tell you where to find Sheila. I phoned Margaret last night and told her what I'd done.
What did she say?
She put the phone down. I tried to call her back, but she wouldn't speak to me. When she's thought it over, I hope she'll understand. In fact, I'm sure she will.
Why?
The reason isn't important.
Have you told me everything now?
Yes.
Well, what are you going to do? Drive back to London?
I thought I'd stay here for the night, if you don't mind.
Please yourself.
Andrew, are you going to use Sheldon Everard's membership card?
Use it?
Mm.
You mean to get into the Excelsior Club? I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Come on, Sheila, we're leaving.
Where are you going?
I'm taking her to stay with some friends of mine.
I thought you'd be taking her to the police.
She doesn't want to talk to the police, do you, Sheila?
No.
There might be some other way she can help. Until I've decided what it is, I'm leaving her where she'll be safe.
Hello?
It's me again, Governor.
Where are you now?
Outside the CAF on the M2. Canterbury's not so far off. Hot hit a bird in there once, Governor.
Never mind the biography. Where's Marsh?
Drinking coffee with darling Sheila. She's yapping her ruddy head off.
It's all right for you, Andy. You're clever. There's all sorts of ways you can make money.
Yeah? I wish you'd tell me one.
Oh, you're kidding me. All I've got is some measurements I'm not ashamed of. I had to make use of them the best way I could.
In the interest of a gang of blackmailers.
I thought those men were just paying to stop their wives finding out. They could afford it, so I didn't see any harm. Anyway, they used me. Why shouldn't I use them to help pay the rent?
You could have got a flat that wasn't so expensive.
Oh, there were other things besides. I've always wanted a mink.
Sheldon Everard wanted to die naturally.
Oh, look, I'm sorry about him, honestly I am. When Margaret told me they weren't just making those men give them money, I felt like killing myself. I'd never have taken them back to my flat if I'd known. Really, I wouldn't.
Who runs the Excelsior Club?
I don't know. Ralph used to show us the men we had to take home.
Ralph?
He's the manager of the club.
What an overweight Uriah Heep.
Pardon?
Washes his hands all the time with invisible soap.
That's Ralph.
I've met him. He picked me out in an identity parade. Do you know a girl called Carol Ransom?
Yes, she's one of the hostesses.
Peter Lloyd?
Who?
Peter Lloyd. He's living in your flat now.
I've never met him.
Where does Roger fit in? Did he work for the club?
No. The checkbooks were his idea. He was always looking for easy ways to pay his rent as well. He had a new girlfriend who was costing him a lot of money. He joined the club and he found out I was taking some of the customers back to my flat.
Did he guess they were being set up for blackmail?
I don't think so. But he said if they lost their checkbooks while they were in my flat, they couldn't very well go to the police.
What did you get out of it?
He gave me £5 every time I stole a checkbook.
Did he ask you to take mine?
No, but when he introduced us, I thought that was what he wanted me to do. When I gave it to him and told him it was yours, he just said, poor old Andrew.
He used my checks, you know.
Oh, we didn't mean to get you into trouble.
I wish I could believe that.
I'm sure he didn't. Your checks were like all the others, just a piece of paper that he could sign with a name he'd thought of and buy things. I mean, it wasn't like stealing money from you and the others, was it?
You are an expert at justifying your immoral little ways, aren't you?
I don't know what you mean. Andy, why was Roger killed?
Probably because someone from the Excelsior Club found out about your sideline. It could have meant trouble for them, so they put an end to it. When they stole my car, it was a part of Operation Frame-Up.
What?
They wanted to make the police a present of a suspect for Roger's murder. I knew him, so I was elected. Another thing in my favor was that I was already under suspicion for passing dud checks.
How could they have known that?
Oh, they have an espionage system that could give MI5 a few lessons. Come on, time we were moving.
Andy, I'm tired.
You can sleep in the car. When Rankin comes on duty in the morning, I want to be waiting.
Oh, what time is it?
6 o'clock.
Oh, I'm used to go to bed at this time. Are we there yet?
No. You've only been asleep 20 minutes.
Talk to me.
What about?
Oh, anything. Stop me thinking about where you're taking me.
At least you'll be safe.
What's this Sergeant Rankin like?
Oh, don't ask me. I'm prejudiced. Where did you meet Roger? First of all, I mean.
In a pub. Oh, he was
Come
nice.
on, you idiot. You've plenty of room.
Who are you talking to?
This chap behind us. I pulled over to let him overtake. Now he's trying to crawl up my exhaust pipe. Anyway, you've cleared one thing that was bothering me.
Have I?
Rankin said that if someone was trying to frame me for passing dud checks and for murdering Roger, they must have a king-size grudge against me. I've been wondering who the devil it could be. After what you've told me, I know your late employers had nothing personal against me. I just happened to be a convenient stooge.
What are you going to do about that girl? What's her name, Judy?
Judy Randall. If events prove she's simply a friend of Margaret Everard's, I shall apologize to her.
What for?
Well, for thinking that she might be connected with the Excelsior Club.
I don't see how she could be.
Well, someone's been helping them to be one jump ahead of me all the time.
If you find out that it isn't Judy, you'll just apologize to her.
What do you expect me to do?
She's in love with you.
Sheila,
What?
the car behind. It's close enough for you to see the driver. Turn round, have a look at him. His face looks familiar to me, but I'm damned if I can remember where I've seen him before. Well,
Well, what?
do you recognize him?
No. Why?
Well, he's had a dozen chances to pass me. And in that car, he's got the speed to do it, but he stayed where he is. I've got a feeling that he's watching us.
Watching us?
Well, following us then. But how the devil could he have picked us up? I'm sure there was no one hanging round the cottage.
You couldn't be wrong.
Well, if there was anyone there, they're damn clever at camouflage. Turn round again. I'll keep an eye on him in the mirror.
Can't just say goodbye to her.
What? Oh, you mean Judy. Oh, she's not interested in me.
She is, you know. You know what she said about Margaret? When she thought about it, she'd understand why Judy had had to break her word and tell you where I was.
I remember.
Well, she meant Margaret would understand because she's in love as well.
You and Sergeant Rankin should get on well together. Both of you suffer from delusions.
I wish I could meet somebody I could fall in love with.
Yes, well, you will one day.
You like Judy, don't you?
Sheila, my wife is being used as a threat to make me behave myself. I have disobeyed, which means I may be directly responsible for her death. This is hardly the time to ask me how I feel about another woman, is it?
Oh, you're not in love with your wife, though, are you? Not anymore, I mean.
Have I ever said that I'm not in love with her?
No, but from some of the things you've told me, you know, about the way you're always having rows and that sort of thing, I don't see how you can be in love with her.
Oh, I'm as much to blame for the rows as she is.
Why?
Because when you're wondering where the hell the money's coming from to pay a pile of bills, you forget to be an attentive husband. And that doesn't make for a happy relationship.
You're just making excuses for her. You know you're not in love with her as well as I do. And in that case, I don't see why you're so worried about what could happen to her.
You are a callous little devil, aren't you? Listen, when you've been married to a woman, for as long as I've been married to Joyce, she becomes part of your life. If she's ill or in any kind of danger, you don't think about whether you're still in love with her. You just try to do your best to help her.
You know what's the matter with you, don't you? You're old-fashioned.
Oh, for heaven's sake, go back to sleep and let me drive. He's made up his mind at last.
What?
Our friend's going to overtake. What the devil?
Andy, he's smiling at
Well,
you.
he'll have us off the road if he keeps this up.
Get ahead of him, Andy.
I can't, he's matching my speed. The damn fool's going to smash into us if he doesn't. Open the door. Jump on it, he's trying to...
Andy!
Open the door!
Can't! The handle's stuck!
You're pushing it the wrong way, you...
Quite sure, Alf. You didn't leave any loose ends?
Not a flaming one, Governor. You know me.
Well, you seem to have thought of everything. Where's the car?
Dumped near the river, miles away from where I nicked it.
Ah.
When the guy it belongs to sees it again, he's going to have heart failure. So's his insurance company.
No prints left in the car.
Clean as the parson's jokes, Governor. What did you do with Max when he got back last night?
Sends him home. He won't like it when he knows I let you take care of Marsh.
He'd have made a right mess of it. Probably left his footprints on Marsh's face. Don't know when to stop, Max don't. Business back to usual now, eh, Governor?
Yeah. You know, I think I'll celebrate the exit of the late and unlamented Andrew Marsh. You can drive me to the plaza in Park Lane, Alf. A champagne breakfast is called for.
Right, Governor.
Here's my keys. The car's behind the club. I'll be with you in 5 minutes. That'll be long enough for me to tell Mrs. Marsh the sad news.
Can I have a word with you, Mr. Rodney?
Just a second, Joe. Damn. These labels are a waste of money.
Stick it under the wiper, Mr. Rodney. How much have you knocked off?
I'll put another tenner on.
Oh.
What do you want, Joe?
Well, I thought I'd better see you about this bit in the paper.
What? Oh, Andrew Marsh.
Yeah, he was here last night. Must have been just after he scuppered from the coppers.
What was he doing here?
He made a phone call and he asked me to fill up the sports job, the black one. Said he had to see a customer with it.
He took the car?
Yeah, left here about 10:05, yeah, because I was ready to close up. He hasn't brought the car back, has he?
Well, I don't know. I've only just come in. I'll check up round the back.
What do you do if it isn't there, Mr. Rodney?
I'll phone the police. I can't afford to get on the wrong side of the law.
A bit of a net, isn't he? Mr. Marsh, I mean, going on the run from the coppers.
He's a damn fool. What time you on today?
2 o'clock, Mr. Rodney.
Oh, do something for me, will you?
Huh?
Call the GPO and get me a new license for my car.
Oh, sure.
Thanks. Come in the office. I'll give you everything you'll want. Now, where the devil did I put...
This what you're looking for, Governor? The logbook?
Oh, that's it. And here's the cash. 1, 2, 3... There you are. 5 fivers.
Thanks. See you this afternoon, then.
Right, Joe.
Yeah. Is this yours, Governor?
What?
This. On the floor. Yeah. It is yours. Got your name on it. Membership card for some club.
It must have fallen out of my wallet. Thanks.
So long, Mr. Rodney.
So long.
Yeah, in. Yeah, morning, Percy.
Morning, sir.
Any news of Marsh?
Oh, yes, sir. I've had a call from the chap he works for, Bill Rodney.
Elmfield Service Station, eh?
That's him, sir. Marsh borrowed a sports car from there last night. I've circulated the registration number.
Seen his wife yet?
No, sir. I have been round to their flat again this morning. There's no one at home.
You think she's with her husband?
No, sir, no. I'm wondering if he's our man after all, sir.
Huh?
I'm wondering if
Yeah,
he's
all right, I heard you. I suppose this means you got some new evidence?
Yes, sir. I wouldn't be having second thoughts about Marsh otherwise, sir.
No, you wouldn't. Well, what have you got?
Report from CRO, sir. They've identified those prints I sent them. They were Joey Driscoll's.
Driscoll's? Thought he'd emigrated.
Oh, he's been keeping quiet, sir. I made inquiries about him, and he was working for his living.
Doing what?
Croupier, the Excelsior Club.
Ah, that damn place again.
Yes, sir. Mind you, sir, I'm not completely convinced that Marsh is in the clear. But with those prints turning up where they did, well, it's even money that he's telling the truth.
Hello?
Was that the home of Mr. Sheldon Everard?
Yes?
Are you Mrs. Everard?
No. Who is that?
Well, my name's Fergus, Dr. Fergus. I'm speaking from the Medway General Hospital. I'm afraid Mr. Everard has been in an accident.
Are you sure you've got the right number?
Well, the only identification we found on the patient was a membership card for the Excelsior Club. It gave his name as Sheldon Everard and his address...
How is Mr. Everard?
Are you a member of his family?
No, they're away. I'm looking after the house. I'd forgotten Mr. Everard was still in London. I'm sorry, Doctor.
Well, that's all right.
How is he?
We're awaiting the result of X-rays. I don't want to alarm you, but he may have internal injuries. Will you contact his family?
Yes. Can I see him?
Not at the moment. Mr. Everard is still unconscious. Unconscious. Unconscious.
Your bank know you'd lost your checkbook. The dud cheques came out of that book.
You've come the wrong road. I've never heard of anyone called Ramsey.
You're accusing me of stealing my own car and killing Roger.
Murdering him would be a better way of putting it.
Those are versatile men, Mr. Marsh. They don't limit their activities to passing worthless cheques and staging hit-and-run accidents.
I'm afraid you won't be going home. I told you you'd have plenty of time to think, didn't I?
Margaret hasn't been in their house for a fortnight or more.
Then who the devil was the girl I talked to?
You've fallen for her, haven't you?
I went to school with Margaret. My name's Judy Randall. I wish I could meet someone I could fall in love with.
Open the door!
Come, the handle's stuck!
You're pushing it the wrong way,
I'll see him as soon as I've talked to Mr. Everard, sister. You've rejoined us then, Mr. Everard?
Yes.
How are you feeling?
Oh, my head aches.
Aye, it would.
How long have I been out?
You were unconscious almost 48 hours, Mr. Everard.
You found out my name.
Aye, you had a card in your pocket. You're a member of some club or other.
The Excelsior.
Aye, that's the one. I phoned your home. I believe your family's away.
Doctor, how is Miss Ramsey?
Who?
Sheila Ramsey. She was in the car with me.
You were alone, Mr. Everard. There was no one with you when you crashed.
So, she's gone again. And with Andrew confined to hospital, it won't be long before Sergeant Rankin or someone worse shows up to add to the strange labyrinth that is Find the Lady by David Ellis. In the cast today, Noel Johnson was Andrew Marsh. Angela Carstairs was Margaret Everhard, or Judy Randall. Celia Patton was Sheila Ramsey. Alistair Tremoncy was Dr. Fergus. Henry Stamper was Sergeant Rankin. Nigel Lindstrom was Peter Lloyd. Sidney Ogle was Alf. And Philip Gaskell was the police superintendent. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening and inviting your comments. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. The executive producer of the Mystery Project is Bill Howell. See you next week.